Cars are everywhere. We drive them, see them, talk about them, but most people are secretly faking it when someone says words like RPM, torque, or inline 4. And it's not your fault. Nobody teaches this stuff unless you grew up under a hood or obsessed over car magazines. But here's the truth. You don't need to be a mechanic to speak confidently about cars. You just need the right breakdown. No pressure, no jargon storm, just plain explanations that actually make sense. That's exactly what this video is. We're starting from zero. What is horsepower? What is torque? Why do RPMs matter? How do engines work? What even is a drivetrain? By the end, you'll understand the basic mechanics, the key car terms, and even the difference between a coupe and a crossover. So next time someone talks cars, you'll actually know what they're saying. And if they try to flex on you, you'll know just enough to call their bluff. Let's start with 3 words you'll hear constantly in car conversations: RPM, horsepower, and torque. People throw them around like everyone knows what they mean, but most people don't. And that's exactly why you're going to understand them better than most. RPM stands for revolutions per minute. It's a way of measuring how fast your engine is spinning. Imagine a spinning top. The faster it spins, the higher the RPM. In a car, the engine has parts inside, mainly pistons and a crankshaft, and they rotate. One full rotation is 1 revolution. So when you hear 6,000 RPM, that means your engine is spinning 6,000 times every minute. More RPM equals faster engine spinning. Now, horsepower is a bit weirder. It was invented as a way to measure power back in the day of horses pulling carts. Today, 1 horsepower equals about the amount of power needed to lift 550 pounds 1 foot off the ground in 1 second. But here's the easy way to remember it. Horsepower equals how fast your car can go once it gets moving. It's the top-end muscle, the speed, the acceleration, the pull when you're already rolling. Then there's torque. This one's more about twisting force. Think of it like this. Torque is what gets the car moving in the first place. It's the initial push. High torque means the car pulls hard from a stop. That strong, instant feeling when you hit the gas and the car lunges forward. Still confused? Here's the simplest way to remember. Torque equals how hard it pushes. Horsepower equals how fast it can go. RPM equals how fast the engine is spinning to make all that happen. You can have a car with a ton of horsepower but low torque, and it won't feel fast until it's already moving. Or you can have a car with big torque but low horsepower. It'll feel punchy off the line but run out of steam at high speed. The best engines balance both, and here's a little flex line you can use in conversation. It's not just about horsepower. Torque is what makes it feel fast. Next, let's look at where that power actually comes from, the engine itself, and why V6, inline 4, and turbocharged aren't as complicated as they sound. Here's the core idea. Inside your engine are cylinders, little chambers with pistons that go up and down. Fuel and air mix together inside each cylinder, a spark plug ignites it, and boom, an explosion pushes the piston down. That motion turns a crankshaft, which creates rotational force, and that's what eventually turns your wheels. Now, cars can have different numbers of cylinders, and that's where you get terms like I4 or inline 4, 4 cylinders in a straight row, common in everyday cars. V6, 6 cylinders in a V shape, like 2 rows angled together. V8, 8 cylinders, bigger, louder, more power. Some cars even go up to V10, V12, or W16, like in supercars. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. More cylinders usually means a smoother ride and more power, but also more fuel use and a more expensive engine. The layout, inline, V, or flat, affects how the engine fits in the car and how it performs. For example, Subaru and Porsche use boxer engines where the cylinders lay flat, which lowers the car's center of gravity and improves handling. Now here's where things get spicy. Turbochargers. A turbo is like a cheat code for your engine. It takes the exhaust gases, stuff your engine is already throwing away, and spins a little turbine. That turbine forces more air back into the engine, which means more oxygen, which means bigger combustion, and that equals more power. So a small engine with a turbo can perform like a bigger one without using as much fuel. That's why you'll hear terms like 1.5 turbo, a tiny engine boosted for power. There's also superchargers, which do the same thing but use a belt connected to the engine instead of exhaust gases. More instant power but slightly less efficient. Superchargers are rare in regular cars but common in muscle cars and drag racers. And one last thing, displacement. That's the total size of all the cylinders, measured in liters. A 2.0-liter engine has 2 liters of combined cylinder volume. More liters equals more power potential. But again, thanks to turbos, small engines can punch above their weight now. If you ever hear someone say, "It's got a twin-turbo V6, now you know what that means. V6 equals 6 cylinders in a V shape. Twin turbo, it's a 2 turbochargers forcing in more air. Next up, let's talk about how that power gets from the engine to the wheels, because without that, your engine is just spinning in place. This is where the transmission comes in. Think of it like a translator between the engine and the wheels. The engine spins fast, but the wheels need the right amount of power at the right time. The transmission makes sure that happens by switching gears. If you've ever ridden a bicycle with gears, you already understand this. When you're climbing a hill, you use a lower gear for more torque. When you're cruising fast, you shift into a higher gear to maintain speed without effort. Cars work the same way. There are two main types of transmissions, manual and automatic. A manual transmission means you choose the gear. You use your left foot for the clutch and your right hand for the gear stick. It's more engaging, more mechanical, and a favorite among car enthusiasts because you're totally in control. The downside? It takes practice, especially in stop-and-go traffic. But once you learn, it can feel really rewarding, almost like you're driving with the car, not just in it. An automatic transmission, on the other hand, shifts gears for you. No clutch, no stick. Just put it in drive and go. Modern automatics are smart. They read your speed, throttle, and load to pick the best gear. Some even have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel to give you a bit of manual control if you want it. There are also a few special types like CVT, which stands for Continuously Variable Transmission. No gears at all, just smooth, constant changes. Great for fuel economy, weird for driving feel. Or DCT, Dual Clutch Transmission, like two manual gearboxes working together. Lightning fast shifts used in performance cars like Porsches and Audis. So which one's better? Depends on what you want. If you like being hands-on and connected to the car, manual is more fun. If you just want smooth, easy driving, automatic is your friend. And if someone starts arguing about which one is real driving, just smile and say, hey, the best transmission is the one that fits your style. So you've got power from the engine, you've got the right gear from the transmission. Now the big question is, which wheels actually get that power? That's what the drivetrain does. It delivers the engine's power to the wheels. And believe it or not, the answer to which wheels are driving the car changes how it feels, handles, and even how safe it is in bad weather. There are three main types: front-wheel drive, or FWD, rear-wheel drive, or RWD, and of course, all-wheel drive, or AWD. Let's start with FWD, front-wheel drive. This means the front wheels do everything. They steer the car and pull it forward. It's the most common layout in everyday cars like Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, Hyundai Elantra, because it's simple, lightweight, and cost-effective. In snow or rain, it's actually pretty good, because the weight of the engine is right above the drive wheels, giving better traction. The downside? FWD cars aren't usually great for sporty driving. Under heavy acceleration or sharp turns, they can feel like they're struggling to keep grip. That's called understeer. Next is RWD, rear-wheel drive. Here the front wheels steer, but the rear wheels push the car forward. This setup is common in performance cars, trucks, and luxury sedans, like the BMW 3 Series or the Ford Mustang. It gives a more balanced driving feel and better weight distribution. When you accelerate, the car's weight shifts backward, which puts more force on the drive wheels, meaning better traction. The catch? In rain or snow, RWD can get slippery unless you've got good tires and experience. But if you love spirited driving or drifting, this is your layout. Then there's all-wheel drive. This setup sends power to all four wheels, either all the time or when needed. It's perfect for bad weather, loose terrain, or high-powered sports cars that need extra grip. Subaru is famous for AWD in all their cars. Audi has its Quattro system, and supercars like the Nissan GT-R and Lamborghini Huracan use advanced AWD systems to put down insane amounts of power. Downsides? All-wheel drive systems add weight, cost, and complexity, and they can slightly reduce fuel economy. Bonus fact, AWD isn't the same as four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive is usually found in trucks and off-road vehicles. It's meant for rugged terrain, with locking differentials and low-range gears. AWD is more for on-road grip, especially in changing weather. If you ever want to sound sharp, ask someone, is it front-biased or rear-biased AWD? That one sentence will instantly make people think you know what you're talking about. And so, you've made the power, shifted the gears, and delivered it to the wheels. But here's something most people never think about. Where the engine is physically located in the car can completely change how it feels to drive. There are three main engine placements: front engine, mid-engine, and rear engine cars. Let's start with the most common, front engine. This means the engine sits right under the hood, above the front wheels. It's the layout you'll find in most cars on the road, from Toyota Camrys to Ford F-150. Why? Because it's practical. It gives you a bigger cabin, better crash protection, and it's easy to work on. In most daily drivers, the engine is in the front and powers the front wheels. Simple and efficient. Now, move that engine back a bit, and you get a mid-engine layout. Here, the engine sits behind the seats but in front of the rear axle, right in the center of the car. This gives you near-perfect weight balance between the front and rear, which is ideal for handling and cornering. That's why mid-engine setups are common in high-performance cars, like Ferraris, McLarens, and some Corvettes. These cars feel more planted and agile. Downsides? Mid-engine cars usually have tiny trunks and aren't the most beginner-friendly to drive at the limit. Then there's rear engine cars, where the engine is all the way in the back, behind the rear wheels. This is super rare these days, but you'll still find it in Porsche 911s and some quirky older cars like the original Volkswagen Beetle. The benefit? Tons of traction. The engine weight is right over the drive wheels, which helps grip. The trade-off? It can make the car feel tail-heavy or unstable in corners if you're not used to it. That's why early 911s had a reputation for being tricky, but also incredibly rewarding once mastered. Want to impress someone in a conversation? Ask this. Is the engine mounted longitudinally or transversely? That's just a fancy way of asking whether it's aligned front to back or sideways. Longitudinal is common in rear or all-wheel drive cars. Transverse is used in most front-wheel drive setups to save space. So why does engine placement matter? Because it affects balance, traction, and handling. A front-engine car feels predictable. A mid-engine car feels sharp and responsive. A rear-engine car feels unique and sometimes wild. And now that we've covered everything under the skin, let's take a look at what people actually see on the outside. We're talking about body types, the shape, size, and design of the car you actually see on the road. There are a handful of core styles, and once you know them, you'll be able to spot them instantly. Let's start with the most traditional, the sedan. A sedan is a car with 4 doors, a separate trunk, and a clean, balanced shape. It's what most people imagine when they think of a regular car. Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, BMW 3 Series, all classic sedans. Sedans are comfortable, spacious, and good for commuting or family use. Next up, the hatchback. A hatchback usually looks smaller than a sedan, but it's often more versatile. Instead of a separate trunk, it has a large rear door that swings upward, giving you access to the whole back of the car. Think Volkswagen Golf, Honda Fit, or Ford Focus. Hatchbacks are great for city driving and offer surprising cargo space for their size. Then you've got the coupe. A coupe is typically a 2-door car with a sportier, sleeker design. It's usually lower to the ground and often aimed at people who want style or performance. Examples: Ford Mustang, BMW 2 Series, or Audi TT. Some coupes technically have 4 seats, but good luck fitting anyone in the back. Next, convertibles, also called cabriolet. These are cars with removable or retractable roofs. Some have soft tops, others have hard tops that fold away. Convertibles are built for fun, open-air driving, cruising on sunny days. Mazda MX-5 Miata, Porsche Boxster, or even classic Mustangs all have convertible versions. Now for something bigger, the SUV, or sport utility vehicle. SUVs are taller, offer more ground clearance, and are usually built for a mix of on-road comfort and off-road ability. Some are crossovers, meaning they're based on car platforms but shaped like SUVs. Think Toyota RAV4 or Honda CR-V. Bigger SUVs like the Jeep Grand Cherokee or Chevy Tahoe are built for space, towing, and sometimes rugged terrain. Families love them for the cargo room and higher seating position. A close cousin to the SUV is the crossover coupe, like the BMW X6 or Mercedes GLE Coupe, which mixes SUV height with sloped, sportier styling. These are all about looks and road presence. Then there's the station wagon. Think of it like a stretched-out hatchback or a sedan with more trunk space. Wagons used to be super popular, and in Europe, they still are. Volvo V60, Audi A6 Avant, and Subaru Outback are examples. They offer tons of cargo space, but drive more like a car than an SUV. Then there's the pickup truck. This one's easy to spot. Big body, open cargo bed in the back. Trucks are designed for hauling, towing, and work, but they've also become lifestyle vehicles. Ford F-150, Ram 1500, Toyota Tacoma, all trucks. Some have 2 doors, others have 4. Some are built to go off-road, others just cruise the streets. And finally, we get to the dream machines, supercars and hypercars. And these are exotic, fast, and insanely expensive, usually low to the ground with dramatic styling and insane performance. Think Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti, McLaren. Supercars are made to go fast and look good. Hypercars push things even further. They're rare, often over $1 million, and built to break records. Want to sound smart in conversation? Drop this line. It's not just the body shape, it's what the platform underneath is designed for. Because sometimes a car looks like a coupe, but it's hiding SUV roots, or a hatchback that drives like a sports car. And before we wrap up, there's one more bonus trick that ties it all together. You've just gone from zero to car literate. You know what RPM means, what horsepower really does, how torque feels, and how engine placement affects handling. You can tell a hatchback from a coupe and a front-wheel drive from an all-wheel drive system. That's way more than most people. And here's the good news. You don't have to know everything to sound confident. The real trick? Learn how to ask the right questions. When someone mentions their car, try lines like, is it front-wheel drive or rear, turbo or naturally aspirated, or what's the power to weight like? You don't need to know all the answers. Just showing curiosity in the right places makes you stand out. It tells people you're learning, not pretending. And that earns real respect in any car conversation. Here's one more move. Use comparison. If someone's talking about their new car, Say something like, "Is that more of a daily driver or weekend car?" That simple line does two things. It opens the door for real conversation, and it signals that you understand car culture, not just specs. And if you ever get stuck, don't be shy to tell something like, "I'm just getting into cars, but I'm starting to really get it." Because now you actually do. If you want to continue learning cars, we have more videos that can help you with your car maintenance. So if you're on your way to become a petrol head, don't forget to subscribe.